You're not invisible because you lack talent. You're invisible because your presence is weak. Because when you walk into a room, nothing shifts. No energy changes. No attention moves. And deep down, you feel it. You scroll. You watch others speak, lead, command attention without trying. You wonder what they have that you don't. You tell yourself it's confidence. Maybe genetics. Maybe luck. But that's not the truth. The truth is harder to accept. You've trained yourself to be ignored. Every time you chose comfort over growth. Every time you stayed quiet when you had something to say. Every time you escaped into distractions instead of sharpening your mind, you built a version of yourself that blends into the background. You didn't lose your presence. You never built it. Charisma is not magic. Presence is not something you're born with. It's trained. It's earned. And it starts with how you live when no one is watching. Because the way you carry yourself in public is a direct reflection of the standards you tolerate in private. Right now, your habits are leaking into your identity, your posture, your voice, your eye contact, your energy. They all tell the same story. A story of hesitation, a story of inconsistency, a story of someone who hasn't fully decided who they are. And people can feel that instantly. That's the science behind presence. Humans are wired to read certainty, to follow clarity, to trust energy that doesn't waver. So if your mind is scattered, if your actions are inconsistent, if your life lacks discipline, your presence will always feel weak. No matter what you say, this is where everything changes. You stop chasing charisma, and you start building discipline. Because discipline is the root of presence. You wake up when you said you would, not when it feels comfortable. You do the work even when your mind resists, especially when it resists. You train your body. You control your environment. You cut distractions without negotiation. This is not about motivation. This is about control. Every small promise you keep to yourself builds internal trust, and that trust becomes certainty. That certainty becomes calm energy. That calm energy becomes presence. You don't need to speak louder. You don't need to act different. When you walk into a room with discipline behind you, people feel it, because now your energy is grounded. Your movements are intentional. Your words carry weight. You're no longer seeking approval. You're not trying to impress. You've already proven something to yourself. And that changes everything. But understand this clearly. This transformation is not quick. It's not comfortable. And it's not optional if you want to become someone who stands out. You will have to face boredom. You will have to sit in silence without reaching for your phone. You will have to push through moments where nothing feels exciting. Because that's where your identity is rebuilt. Not in big, dramatic moments, but in small, repeated choices. You show up. You follow through. You stay consistent when it's inconvenient. Day after day, week after week, until something shifts. You start noticing it in the mirror, in the way you stand, in the way you look at people. There's less doubt, less hesitation. You speak slower. You move with purpose. You stop explaining yourself. And people start noticing. Not because you're trying to be charismatic, but because you've become someone who is present, someone who is certain, someone who doesn't break under pressure. You've built a version of yourself that commands attention without asking for it. That's what makes you irresistible. Not looks, not tricks, not fake confidence. It's the quiet power of discipline. And here's the part you can't ignore. If you keep living the way you are right now, nothing will change. You will keep blending in. You will keep watching others take opportunities you were too hesitant to claim. And time will keep moving. So decide. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. Decide that your habits will change. Decide that your standards will rise. Decide that you are done being someone who fades into the background. Start small if you have to, but start today. Because the version of you that people notice, the version that walks into a room and shifts the energy, is not waiting to be discovered. It's waiting to be built.